Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a three-part video. First, we're going to talk about the Livescope Masterclass and how you can get it for free. Part two, we're going to talk about the down view of the Livescope and where it actually reads at. We've had some confusing, I've had a lot of questions popping up lately. It's crazy. Sometimes you'll go forever and never see the question, and then all of a sudden, boom, it pops up and you're like, where'd this question come from? But let's answer it. And then thirdly, the question that, just like what we talked about, is coming up a ton. Is it beneficial to switch from the 32 to 34? And so I'm going to give you my take on that. First, we're going to talk about the Livescope Masterclass. In the description below, look in the description of this video. There's a link. Click on it. You sign up for an email. They're going to send you a confirmation email. And over the next week, you'll receive 5 of the 31 videos that are in the class for free. And you'll be able to take a look at it, kind of see what you think about the class, send me some feedback and things like that. And if you like it, here's the great thing. If you go on to purchase it after the 5th class, you can get $50 off. Bam. Not only that, from Waypoint TV, you're also going to get a free knot tying course video. You'll be able to go into there. They're going to give you that for free. Also, throw it in. So you get 50 bucks off a free knot tying course. Worst case scenario, you get 5 free videos of the Masterclass video. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the second thing, and that is this right here. This is an LVS 34 video transducer. I'm going to be putting this on my boat. I'm going to have 2 of them on there, one in perspective, one in forward. Not something that's attainable by most people, not even myself. I had a great friend that let me use this while we do these tests and everything like that. So we'll have 2 of these on the trolling motor, and we'll be taking a look at just ways to use both of them, and it'll make it a lot easier to do the test where I don't have to get down there, switch, go back and forth and things like that. One of the questions that I see a lot is, when you have it in forward mode, which is just about like that, it'll be this flat, slightly angled forward. When you put it in down mode, a lot of people have wondered, where is the coverage area? Does it go side to side or front to back? Now, you have to understand it's a 135-degree angle. Everybody knows that, with a 20-degree width. So first, let's talk about the coverage area, how it goes down. It's on your trolling motor. It will be on your trolling motor like this. Okay, so it actually it'll be a 135-degree angle from back to front. Or imagine that in an arc of 135 degrees pointing down 135 degrees. Now if you put it in the forward position, which will be, let me get it right where I can, there you go. Put it in the forward position, this being forward this way. All it does is turn that 135-degree arc forward. So the top of the 135 degrees will be along this kind of parallel right here, and it will take the back of the 135 if you're in down, and it rotates it forward. That's the only thing that changes. Nothing actually changes with the unit when you switch it from forward to down or anything like that. All you're doing is rotating the 135. And by rotating the transducer, the unit understands that you're wanting to see a different area with the 135. Therefore, it rotates that 135 degrees onto the screen so you can actually see it. The same thing happens when you put it in perspective mode. Remember, it's facing down, so when you turn it sideways now, and I'll tilt it just slightly, the 135 goes from there, let's do it here, goes from there around to here. And so nothing has changed. It still shoots the same 135-degree wide beam, 20-degree width, side to side. And the only thing you do is change how the transducer is oriented. So when you have it in down position like this, the 135 degrees will go from here to there up under your boat. That's great for crappie fishermen, but it's also great for ice fishermen. But when it's looking like this, it only reads 20 degrees this way, total, 20 degrees, the 20-degree arc. So it's about 10 degrees this way and about 10 degrees this way, 20-degree width on the beam. So you can understand why it's so hard in this area sometimes to see your jig and things like that. So I hope that better understands you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a separate video on this with the whiteboard where we really break it down, but I just wanted to kind of bring that to attention. I haven't been able to get out the last few days. I had some family issues going on and haven't been able to do that. Now, thirdly, people have asked, is it beneficial to get rid of your LVS, I'm checking on my little girl, LVS 32 and move to a 34? The target separation on the 34 is far superior to that on the 32. For example, if you are out at 60, 70 feet and you see what you think is a fish on the 32, you can't be 100% sure until it gets closer that that's one fish or not a group of small fish. The 34 separates that a little better. So when you see a fish out there at say 60 feet, 70 feet, if you see one, it usually is one, maybe two, but the target separation is so much better. Up close, they're pretty close on target separation, not much difference. Has a little bit clearer image on the 34, and that's, you know, that's still, but it's so fine of a detail. Up close, I don't see that much difference. But out far, that's where the 34 really shines. Now let's talk about perspective mode. To me, the perspective mode is hands down better on the 34 as opposed to the 32. 32 is pretty good. 34 is amazing. The details and the stitching. See, the stitching really shows up on the 32 in perspective mode. You can really see some areas of weakness where that stitching is. She's playing with the water hose. The 34, that stitching is so much smoother, so much cleaner, that you don't get those areas where an object goes into it and kind of fades and comes back not near as much on the 34 as opposed to the 32. 32 is still a very serviceable transducer. And here's where I say, if you have a 32 and you're a crappie guy, and you've caught a lot of crappie fish, I don't know that upgrading to the 34 is going to make you catch tons more fish. It's just not going to do it. The 32 is awesome and up close. Now, if you're a bass guy where you're out fishing 70, 80, 90 feet, you're hunting those fish with the A-rigs and hunting those fish with jerk baits or looking for brush piles far off, that's where the 34 is going to shine. If you're a guy that uses perspective mode a lot, absolutely, I will say that 34 is going to help you a lot more. Now, here's where it comes down to. Is it enough of an upgrade to go sell? If you've got the extra money laying around, I say absolutely upgrade to the 34 because of the higher ceiling with the 34. 32 has pretty much reached its ceiling in terms of updates and maximum capabilities. The 34, we're just getting started. We're down here with the 34, still got to go all the way up here. The 32 is pretty much topped out with all the adjustments they can do to the unit. It's still a lot of money. The 32s are starting to fall in price and how much they can fetch. So you have to start considering that. So a lot of people have started taking the 32 and using it in conjunction with the 34 because it just turns out it's just easier to keep it than try to sell it for almost a fraction of what you've got into it. Because if people want to spend $900 or $1,000 on a 32, they might as well go ahead and spend the extra couple hundred and buy a new one with a warranty and things like that. And crystals do seem to be burn out and things like that. So I've noticed that the resale value is starting to drop a lot. And also, a lot of people are keeping their black boxes because the 34, just the transducer only, is starting to float out into existence here. So as that happens, you're going to lose a lot more value in that because people are starting to keep their black boxes. So if you don't have one at all, absolutely buy the 34. It's worth the extra few $100s. If you have the 32, you need to think about how you fish, the kind of fishing you do, and whether or not it's going to allow you to catch a lot more fish. Now, that's a question, and I can't answer your financial situation, but those are my takes on all the subjects. So guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and ring the bell.